What's a fact everyone believes that's actually false?
Movies and TV shows say you have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. I don't know why they do that. If someone is missing, the sooner you report it, the better. 24 hours would be like a dream to a kidnapper. Also, that most kidnappings are by strangers. The vast majority of kidnappings are done by family and friends, especially non-custodial parents. It used to be the case in many states that if an adult is missing, they wouldn't take a report for 24 to 48 hours. AFAK, that was never the case with children. It was the case for children as well. The kidnapping of Adam is one of the major cases that helped change it. Cows farting is a significant source of methane, contributing to global warming through mass cattle farming. In fact, cow farts contain very little methane. The methane comes out when the cows burp. A burp is just a mouth fart. This is true, but it's not as funny as cow farts. Cows do fart methane. It's not that their farts have a low percentage of methane, it's that they burp more than they fart. Percent composition of methane is similar. That the US government spent millions designing a pen to work in space, while the Soviets used good old-fashioned common sense with pencils. The space pen was offered by the inventor to NASA gratis to help his marketing, and it solved the issue of graphite lead breaking off and floating around the cabin. Also noteworthy is that graphite is electrically conductive. You don't want little particles of conductive material floating around a room that is lined with electrical instruments, especially since the Apollo mission craft was essentially an atmosphere of nearly pure oxygen, much higher risk of fire than here on Earth. After the Apollo 1 fire, they designed the craft to start with an essentially nitrogen-rich atmosphere on the ground to eliminate risk of fire on the ground and during liftoff, but also during liftoff the nitrogen vented and was replaced by more oxygen. Any kind of conductive material that might cause a spark was a big danger. Friends, I hope you like these facts. I need your help because I really want to get 100 subscribers by the end of the month, so I'd be very grateful if you subscribe, like, and comment. Let's keep going. People do not really eat 8 spiders a year in their sleep. This ever being a fact is a myth in itself. The first time this fact was ever mentioned, it was in a book talking about fake facts, and was in fact a fake fact the book made up just to prove its point. Here's obviously false facts people are willing to believe. In fact, here you are believing people ever believed this obviously false fact is the vibe I think it was trying to give. It's actually a really interesting topic regarding misinformation. Exactly. We all know it's just that spiders George, who lives in a cave and eats 10,000 spiders every day, skews the statistics. He is an outlier that should not have been counted. Deoxygenated blood is blue. Cardiac perfusionist here, deoxygenated blood is just a darker red. Oxygenated is bright red. We check it every time to make sure our bypass machine is actually oxygenating the blood. Lots of people around the world still believe that homeopathy is a real health science. It's not. The best thing about homeopathy is that all water is homeopathic everything. We only use 10% of our brain. The same way as traffic lights use only 3/3 of their light bulbs. If someone tells me they're only using 10% of their brain, I'm willing to believe them. That urine is sterile. It's not. Even the healthiest pee has at least a little bit of bacteria, and most people don't have the healthiest pee. It's really odd to me how much people really to believe this myth. It makes me wonder what they're doing with pee. But Patches O'Houlihan said that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Just more horseshit from Big Breakfast. Unironically, Big Breakfast propaganda. Them cereal companies spend a lot of money maintaining this bullshit. Buddy Kellogg in his weirdo health retreat once spent way too long telling grown-ass adults that humans in fact use 100% of their brains and that the taste buds do not have specific zones. All taste buds have the same sensations. In high school, I had a teacher who went out of his way to embarrass me during a class experiment. He was demonstrating the 4 sections of the tongue idea using Q-tips soaked in sour, sweet, bitter, and salty solutions. We were supposed to touch each one to the part of the tongue where that taste was supposedly strongest. I couldn't taste the sour sample at all, just the texture of the cotton. Instead of considering that it might be normal, he got angry and accused me of acting out and trying to ruin the experiment. He even called me to the front of the class and scolded me in front of everyone. And being deeply introverted, I was horrified. I left the room in tears and went straight to the library. When I looked it up in the newspaper, I found out the taste map he was teaching had already been debunked. That you can tell who was lying based on eye contact. Nope, it's been debunked for like a decade. Now can we please stop using it to judge autistic people? There is no foolproof way to tell if someone's lying. Even lie detectors are easily tricked. Also, you don't need to be autistic to be visibly uncomfortable when you're being accused of lying. Taylor, if you're reading this, I am sorry I insisted old glass got wavy and droopy over time. You were right, and I was too stubborn to admit the process back in the day just produced wavier glass. I'm sorry. She forgives you and will write a song about it. Sagging glass blues. I read a paper on this, and the conclusion was that glass will bulge at the bottom over time, but it will take a few billion years, and the heat from our sun going supernova will skew the results. That lemmings are so stupid that they will run off cliffs just because the lemming ahead of them did. That was propaganda that was created by absolute demons pretending to be human beings using machinery or other means to push hordes of them off of the cliffs for a video clip. And it inspired that one old computer game. HR represents your best interests. H.R. Giger did represent Ridley Scott's best interests. It does if you are the owner of the corporation. There's no gravity in space. Also that there can't be explosions in space. Most things blowing up in movies are oxygenated environments. There are also many self-contained explosives that could be used. Everyone thinks shocking someone with the defibrillator is done when the heart is stopped, when it's used on a heart that is beating irregular. That people didn't believe Columbus when he said the earth was round. Everyone knew it was round. We've known since the ancient Greeks. Yes, people misunderstand that he did not try to sail to India to prove that the world was round. He sailed because they knew the world was round, therefore, let's find a better trading route to the Orient. And if I remember correctly, people didn't want to fund his trip because he claimed the earth was smaller than it was. They knew it was pointless to sail in that direction because you would run out of supplies before you reached India. It was only sheer dumb luck he reached America when he did. Sugar makes children hyper. I tried explaining this to a cousin once. I linked a study where they gave some kids sugared lollies and some sugar-free and told the parents the opposite. The ones that thought their kids had sugar reported hyperactivity. The ones that thought their kids had sugar-free reported no hyperactivity. It was literally in the parents' heads. My cousin's response was along the lines of, "But I've seen my kid get hyper after a party." People have a very hard time understanding how much their preconceptions color their perceptions. I'm lucky that my Psych 101 class had a perfect demonstration. They put a video on of a pair of toddlers playing and said the one on the left was preterm, please do a bunch of ratings on the kid's motor and emotional skills. We were, of course, rating the one on the left as lower on all of them, consistent with a paper we just read. Next minute, they're like, oh, look at class 2's ratings, they're the opposite, and we told them baby 2 was preterm. Honestly, was crazy. The tutor told me that they've had multiple instances of students freaking out about it and not getting it. One person approached them afterwards and continued pressing that they genuinely thought that one of the babies had serious problems and needed medical attention. The tutor's like, it's a couple of the department's kids from like 15 years ago, they're fine. Columbus discovered America, and that he went on his voyage to prove the world was round. I know, those are two facts. He did discover the Americas, he just didn't first to do so. He discovered the Americas like I discovered that Mexican restaurant on the other side of town, which I thought was an Indian restaurant. Technically, he discovered the Caribbean. He never stepped foot on any of the Americas soil. Friends, thank you very, very much for watching this video. Write, what's a fact everyone believes that's actually false in the comments. I will read them all. Like the video, subscribe, and talk to you soon.